Legend of Korra is a show because it backed out of acknowledging the fact that Aemon and Zahir had good ass points. This is such a classic villain thing where they're like, we're going to introduce like a revolutionary leader who turns out to be a villain because they're evil, and this person will ostensibly have a good point and a good cause to fight for, but we're never going to address the point. Like, Aemon was kind of cooking a little bit. I don't know. Like, we never see really any discrimination against non-benders, and that's a flaw in the writing. There would be. Bro, there is canonically racial discrimination in the Avatar universe. You're telling me there isn't discrimination between the people who can fucking throw 8-ton rocks and people who can't? Are you like, you're really telling me like, that guy's got a different skin color, get him? But then like, no line at all between, yeah, I have like the power of fucking fire god in my hands and just a regular dude? No fucking way. I'm leaving aside the employment discrimination alone. You'd think there'd be a bunch of jobs that you couldn't get unless you were a bender. If you're not an earthbender, sorry, fucko. Like, you're not... There's like a million jobs with the land you're not getting, like, for obvious reasons. Also, you just suck shit. They show that. They don't really, like, engage with it that much, you know? They don't really engage with it that much. The closest we get is... whatever. The closest we get is Sokka, who feels inadequate because he can't bend, but like he ends up being perfectly competent anyway because he gets a sick-ass meteorite sword and a boomerang and everything. He does plenty of cool stuff. You had to be a specific kind of earthbender to be a cop. Yeah, all the cops in fucking the Korra City thing, whatever, Empire, so whatever it was called, all the cops had to be metalbenders. They never... Republic City, thank you. Yeah, they never discussed that. They had such a good setup for it too, given lightning benders powered the city. Could you imagine if they went on strike? It was genuinely a flaw in the writing that it never got examined. Like, I forgive them for not really getting into it with Avatar: The Last Airbender, because Avatar: The Last Airbender wasn't really about, like, exploring the internal conflicts within a society. It was about repairing the world from the invasion of an empire. Like, it wasn't... But, like, Korra was in one place, man. The whole thing was about, like, inequality between benders and non-benders, and they just don't engage with it at all. And same with Zahir. Zahir was completely correct, okay? Fuck everyone else. Zahir should have finished the job with Korra, okay? Honestly. Kuvira redemption was insane. Last point that I'm going to make. It is genuinely wild to me that of the 4 primary villains of Korra, you have, like, a revolutionary leader, like an orthodox religious fundamentalist, an anarchist accelerationist, and then finally a literal obvious fascist. And of those 4, it's the fascist that gets the redemption point at the last bit, where her hair gets let down, and Korra saves her, and she's like, oh, I regret my way. Like, of the 4 villains they could have, you know, revolutionary leader, orthodox fundamentalist, anarchist, and fascist. That last one, it's not even remotely a joke or exaggeration. If you haven't seen Korra, what I'm describing to you right now is completely correct, with no, like, there's like fucking Wikipedia would agree with me on this description, okay? Doesn't Zahir get a positive arc when Korra goes to him in the spirit realm? Well, I mean, that's just because Zahir's a good guy. Zahir is nice to her to begin with because he's not full of hate. You know? And the only good treatment Zahir got in the last season was Korra visited him when he was in prison. Man lost his loved one right in front of him, learned how to fly from the grief, and they locked him in a cage in the ground. And the redemption he gets is Korra going to him and being like, hey, I need to, like, hey, you're an anarchist, you hate fascists, right? Like, I need to deal with a fascist. Can you help me? And he's like, okay. And that was it. They should have let him free. Unironically, save season 4, they should have let him free. They should have let him free, and he should have helped in the fight against Kuvira, and he should have killed her too, like he did the Earth Queen. That would have been good shit right there. That would have been fucking perfect. Absolutely. Oh, that would have been... Free my man. Man loves killing Earth Kingdom leaders. He loves that shit. I mean, you have to take into consideration his actions directly led to Kuvira's rise. I think that's true, but I also think that was like the choice of the writers, right? Like, the writers chose to make that the case. They wanted a big new villain rising up in season 4. It made sense that the instability in the Earth Kingdom would lead, but like, it could have gone another way entirely. It could have been like Zahir was like thoughtful and planned it out and killed the Earth Queen, but there were like underlying insurgent movements that took power afterwards, and now there was like a confederation that was leading the Earth Kingdom. The writers chose to make anarchy lead to instability, and I think they did him dirty. No, I agree it wasn't a completely unjustified writing choice, John Paul. I agree that, like, that could have happened. I just want him to be treated better. Honestly, I would have even been happy if Korra at the end had, like, had to talk Zahir down from killing Kuvira. Like, maybe they beat Kuvira, and Zahir is like, all right, gonna fucking kill another Earth Kingdom bitch, and, like, grabs her by the hair and leads her over to a town square in Republic City, and Korra's like, no, 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 and, like, the like, very final conflict of it is, like trying to stop Zahir from doing a public execution. Come on, would that not have fucked? Even if Korra had won the argument, would that not have fucked? That would have been really good. As a final argument, that would have been very good. Like that being the last, like, a conflict arc. Especially considering how strong Zahir is, too, so it wouldn't just be, like, talking, you know, he could fight her out. Yeah, how about a little bit of ideology, huh? In this story that keeps threatening to engage with ideology, but then fails at the last minute time and time again? What if we, like, you know, talked it out a little bit? What if Zahir made a compelling argument? What if Zahir was like, literally, look at her. She was about to destroy Republic City. She's a fascist. Like, why should I not? Tell me why I shouldn't. And maybe you know, like, Korra would have to, like, argue, like, you know, my predecessor Aang didn't kill the Fire Lord Ozai, but instead thought that taking her bending away was a better blah blah blah. And then it's like, well, I can't take her bending away. She's strong, you know. Well, why don't you arrest her? Well, we could arrest her. We could fucking kill her, you know. I don't know. What if the show was about something? I think it's like unironically an indication of the ideological regression of Korra over The Last Airbender, that when Aang was deliberating whether or not he should have killed Fire Lord Ozai, he talks to his past lives, and the Earth woman, the Earth Kingdom woman, I forget her name, is like, hey, you should kill him. Hello, it is me, Kyoshi, thank you. It's me, Kyoshi. I lived for 200 years and basically de facto ruled the world during my life. You should kill him. I would kill him. You should kill him. Kill that guy. And you know what? The show never presents that as a bad idea. It shows that Aang is personally uncomfortable with it, but it's not like her vision fades and Aang is like, wow, she was crazy or whatever. Like, they don't do that, you know? I feel like that's a more mature acknowledgement of the, I guess, capital option than anything Korra did. Even the last Air Avatar also said Ozai had to die. Oh yeah, that's true. That's true, yeah. So, like, a moral case for murder. I mean, considering the fact that the person that he was fighting was literally, at the time of their fighting, engaged in a continental genocide of the Earth Kingdom, I think that, like, yeah, a little bit. Like, he was like double Hitler, man. Like, he was like Hitler, except instead of Hitler, like, leading Germany, he had a magical ability that let him shoot, like, Auschwitz Cyclone B gas out of his hand, and he was flying over all of Eastern Europe with a blimp and firing it out of his hand. You know, I feel like in that instance, it would actually be okay to go up and kill him to stop him. They shouldn't have pussied out at the end. I think it's fine that they took his bending away. I don't think that was bad at all. It perfectly fit Aang's character. People say it's a bit of an ass pull, but, you know, the dragon turtle is like a legendary figure. I don't think that's pussying out at all. What I think is pussying out is giving Kuvira a moment of redemption. They didn't give Ozai a moment of redemption, did they? At the end, after Ozai has his bending taken away, he doesn't go, now that I've had my powers taken away, I realize life is precious. Like, they don't do that. He just tries to swing at Aang and then, like, falls over. Which is good. Like, that's more in character.